Hi everyone, my name is Ramana Reddy and I am a lawyer from Hyderabad. And today I want to talk to you about a tricky question, which is can you win your case on technicalities? So at least the first thing that pops into mind when somebody hears something like this is, can you exploit the legal system and kind of win, even though you may be wrong ultimately or not? Uh, but I think before we get to that question, uh, it's important to understand that the that a lot depends on the judge, before whom you're appearing. Some judges are, they really go by the book, like they go by the rules. While on the other hand, there are other judges who go by the rules, but to them the bigger picture is more important, which is, is justice actually being done, or are we using procedure just as a way to kind of circumvent the end result? So I think a lot depends on the judge. I think there's a senior counsel who gave this brilliant analogy that, let's say you're a Michelin whatever star cook, and you make the best non-vegetarian dish, like you make chicken, and you make fish and lamb, and it's like the best in the country. And then the person you serve it to is a vegetarian. Then it doesn't matter really how tasty your dish is, because the person who's eating it is a vegetarian. So again, a lot depends on the judge you're arguing before. So if the judge is if he goes more on technicalities, then that is something that you must use in your argument. Uh, now, the I think apart from the judge angle of it, I think also a lot depends on the subject, which is the subject matter of the proceedings. So, for example, I can tell you from personal experience, like say tax, you can 100%, I can tell you that you can win on technicalities, hands down, like there's no question. So for example, let's say that a particular notice has been issued by the assistant commissioner, but it should have been issued by the commissioner. That is enough. I mean, maybe you actually evaded tax, and maybe actually you did whatever wrong was contemplated by the law. But if the wrong authority issues notice, you can challenge that, and you can say this has to go, because the wrong person gave it. Now, is that right? Well, the law can't, because at least the idea in tax is, we're already taking your money. So whatever safeguards have been prescribed have to be strictly followed. So in tax litigation, I can tell you hands down, you can win on technicalities. But and this also applies to general writ litigation, or when you're litigating against the government. I'm not so sure what criminal law, but if you take, say something like, say like land revenue, and whether it's government land or private land, and who's to issue notice, and whether procedure was followed or not. I think all these questions you can bring up in litigation against the government a lot. But on the other hand, another area that I do is civil litigation, which is private party disputes. And in private party disputes, I think it's a little harder to win on technicalities, because under the Civil Procedure Code, there's a section called 151, which talks about the inherent powers of the court, where the court can basically, everything it does in the substantial interest of justice. It has to make sure that that the power of the court is not misused, and so on. So I think when you're operating under that kind of a standard, it is harder to to kind of win on technicalities. But again, that is not to say that you cannot win a civil suit on maybe not win, but there are definitely stages in a civil suit where you can take advantage based on a technicality. Now that advantage may be the reason why you win, or may not be the reason why you win. But I guess what I'm saying is, the law is wide enough for judges and well as lawyers to make arguments on technicalities, and also the other end, for people, for lawyers and judges who say, let's not fall prey to technicalities. I think a lot depends on the subject that you are dealing with, and also the judge whom you are appearing before, and you need to know the judge before you need to do your homework before you appear before him, because as another senior counsel once told me, justice is not like a vending machine. It's not like you walk up to a vending machine, you press a button and you get a Coca-Cola, no matter what happens. Like you put in whatever, 50 rupees, 100 rupees, and you get a Coca-Cola. Justice, I don't like to say this, but justice is more unpredictable. It's not exactly like a slot machine, but it is more unpredictable because it's, you can make the same argument before different judges and get different results altogether. So you need, so the judge is part of the puzzle, when you are making your case, because ultimately you need to persuade a human being. So, and people are persuaded differently by different arguments. So I think you can win on technicalities, or you may not win on technicalities. As I said, all depends on the judge and on the subject. Thank you for watching.